Welcome, cool kids and campers. Lee of Old Gaming here, bringing you your monthly deck tech for Commander. For this month of July, we're going to talk about Asmora. Asmora is a brand new commander, all from Modern Horizons 2. In this month's deck tech, we're going to, of course, Asmora. We're going to talk about the lore and for fun cards. We're going to talk about the cards that you're going to need on how to win. You got to have those, or you're just fiddle-faddling around. You need your synergy cards, and of course your lands and stuff. This is mostly a complete deck list. Of course, you can make changes according to what you like. Asmora is actually an old name, even though it's a new card. The first ever mention of Asmora comes from Granite Gargoyle, an actual card from Alpha. If you read here, while most overworlders fortunately don't realize this, gargoyles can be most delicious, provided you have the appropriate tools to carve them. The Underworld Cookbook. As you can read, she cannot be cast for any mana, but as long as you discard a card this turn, you may pay 1 black, 1 red to cast this spell. The main part of that is going to be discard. When she ETBs, you search for the cookbook, sacrifice 2 foods, target creature deals 6 damage to himself. Those are going to be your keys for success. Remember, this deck is all about synergy. Here is the cookbook. You tap, discard a card, create a food token. So that word comes up a lot. What's really nice is you're in red. Just discard Squeak, get them back the next upkeep. It's your discard fodder. Next up, we have Chef's Kiss and Witch's Oven. Remember, you're in red. You can steal your opponent's creatures, sacrifice to Witch's Oven, and get all that value. Now, what we'll be talking about next is your win cons. This is the only expensive card in this build. It is Repercussion. It is whenever a creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to that creature's controller. Now, what's straight fire with this card is Stuffy Doll. And you're like, but Michael, that doesn't make any sense. It's to controller. Now, the best way around that, you're in red. So what do you think it is? This cute little card, Harmless Offering. You give that to opponent and you name the other opponent with Stuffy Doll, then you blasphemous act it, game over. You can insult to injury, double it. You can even use these enchantments. Just double the damage. You're in red. That's all you need to do. Now I understand with a lot of discarding, a lot of wheel effects, you're going to lose your win cons to your graveyard. The best way around that is this right here, Underworld Breach. Your opponents aren't going to think you're a threat with everything in the graveyard. Then you play this, boom, win the game. Another great card is Fire Covenant. Underrated. The fact that you just get to pay life and deal that much damage, straight value. Next is Synergy. We got to load up that value train. This is a very flexible build. I mean, you're really just doing discards. Archfiend, he's going to be your king. I recommend, if you're going to build this deck, put Archfiend in it. Everything else, I mean, do a lot of cycling. What's nice is cycling is at instant speed. You know, you're not really doing much. You have mana left open. The guy before you's turn is up, and you're like, all right, at your insta, tap, cycle. Cycle, 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 cycle. Magus of the Wheel is the cheaper version of a Wheel of Fortune. You don't need a lot of wheel effects, but it's good to have. I mean, everything else in here, you know, there's flavor in here. There's good, there's token creation, there's, well, when you create this token, create these tokens. There's no exact formula. Okay, Jessica's Will, it's another card that's a little pricey, it's about $10 to $12, but every other card in this build is anywhere from 30 cents to like $4. Jessica's Will, in, God, I already forgot the name. In Repercussion, there's the only expensive cards. Elixir Immortality. Get all your cards back after you discard them. I mean, you're in black and red. Rakdos is a very powerful, synergetic color combo. Don't be afraid to just have fun. A lot of, I mean, these are commons. As this list goes on, you're going to realize, I think there's about 30-something cards in here. Anywhere from creatures, instants, sorceries. Most of these I would recommend are automatics. One thing I would say to new players who are, first getting into Commander, you can you can miss a few and still have it really good as long as like that first little batch or win cons. As long as you have those, you can almost win. As long as you have the discard effects and a lot of cycle effects. Cycle effects is what's going to make you be able to get your answers. Don't look at a card and be like, oh, well, that's bad because of what it does. But if it's got cycled, that card just jumped in value for this deck because A, you discard. So even if your commander died, you pay 1 black or 1 red. Boom, you have a 3/3 for that turn. It's all value. Remember, synergy, it's flexible. You're loading up the value. Next up on this deck tech, you're playing the colors, so why not play these? Vandal Blast, one of the best overloads cards next to Cyclonic Rift. The Aether Grid, it's nice. You have a lot of food tokens. Just tap them to little ping little damages. Kolaghan's Command, Dark Petition. Remember, these are cheaper cards that have a lot of synergy and a lot of value in this deck. Next up, Beseech the Queen. It's another search card. Torment to Hellfire. Clear out the other people's hands. If they don't have answers to your stuff, that's when you win the game. Reanimate, Living Death. You have that graveyard recursion. Cycle out your best creatures. Throw them in the graveyard and then get them right back. Now, just that little bit of extra flair is Archbound. Choose target creature. Whenever that creature is dealt damage this turn, it deals damage to each creature and each player. Swing out for big stuff with block with Stuffy Doll, and then wipe the board. Now with every deck, what do we all need? We need the mana. These two, you're playing red, you're playing almost any deck, you need these. Now these next two coming up, a lot of people are like, Braid of Fire? That's not any good. It's during your upkeep. Remember, you're cycling. You can do it at instant speed. It's free mana. It's so cheap. Mana Rocks, run them all. Even Crackland Ironworks. Those food tokens, they're sitting there and you're kind of short on mana, just sack one. Get the extra 2 mana. Remember, guys, this deck is all built around you just getting that value for cheap. Punching in when no one suspects it. They're like, it's a food token. You're going to pay mana just to gain 3 life. Like, who cares? Remember, you can always do that sneaky stuff when it's in your hand and people don't know it's coming. For this last little group, we're going to be talking about the last land cards that you need without counting the basics. If you play every card that's in this video, you'll have 70 non-land cards. That's okay because you're going to be cycling a lot, discarding a lot, because you're going to be going through your deck rather quickly. If you want to cut some out because you want more basics, that's fine. I just recommend playing these lands because if you're short land, you get to play it. If you're not short land, cycle it. Get another card. You know, like I said, it's all about building that value for you. Just for one final recap, you got to have Asmora. You got to have the core cards, the cookbook. You need the win cons. You need the high synergy. You need that red and black power cards. Remember, Rakdos is a very, very powerful color combination. And you need the mana. Remember, both of those cards on the right are win cons. If you have more than 20 treasures, you win the game if Revel in Riches is on the battlefield. Remember, this is a budget build. There's only 2 cards that are really pricey. You could win in play without both of them. But those, like I said, you build the deck. You have more fun with it. Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. This video was brought to you by a good old friend of mine. He recommended me to do this deck tech, and I know why he recommended it. It was to see on my face as I tried to pronounce this. So, as in most of my deck techs, you don't see my face. I decided for this one, I'm going to show my face. I will now try to pronounce Asmoranomardicadaistinaculdacar. Asmoranomardicadaistinaculdacar. It's Asmora, okay? That's it. That's all I wanted to say. But in other news, everyone, thanks again for watching through this video. For next month's deck tech, what I will do, which is different, through all the support that everyone who's watching this has shown me. I'm actually going to take one of the cards from this upcoming set later this month, and I'm going to make a deck tech about that card, all brand new, so it's going to be brainstorming off the top of my head. But I'm going to do some prize, and, people who watch it, like, comment, we'll figure something out. I will actually send you that commander, and I think I'm going to do that monthly now. And once again, everyone, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for supporting the channel, and see y'all later.